Richard Gere on making a movie about his longtime mentor and favorite uncle, the Dalai Lama. The Golden Globe-winning actor opens up on his journey with Buddhism, the documentary Wisdom of Happiness, and the sides of the spiritual leader we've never seen. Some movie stars use their clout and popularity as a way to gain access to exclusive events or rest. Gere, who turned his successful acting career into a way to meet and then become a student of the Dalai Lama. Now, more than 40 years after they were first acquainted, His Holiness is stepping into Gere's arena, as the star of his new film. Produced by Gere, the Philip Delacroix and Barbara Miller-directed documentary Wisdom of Happiness features the 14th Dalai Lama, the Nobel Peace Prize-winning Tenzin Gyatso, in his own words. For the entire 90-minute running time, only the Dalai Lama speaks, talking directly to camera and giving background on himself, but, most importantly, sharing his viewpoint on the path to individual peace and how to create a world filled with compassion. Reality itself is now telling us our way of thinking must change, he says in Wisdom. I take the opportunity to share my dream for an energetic, long, bright future. This century should be century of compassion. Century of peace. No more bloodshed. We should be we, rather than we and they. Our life very much depends on hope. Ahead of the US theater release of Wisdom of Happiness, Gere discusses his 50-plus years in Buddhism, the need for this film as the world falls off a cliff, and why His Holiness is not that different from your favorite uncle. Richard Gere, I grew up in a Methodist house, with deeply compassionate people. Everyone thought my dad was going to become a minister. He didn't, but he was very involved with the church, and, for most of his life, insurance was his profession, and he sold insurance like he was a minister. He was protecting people. And in the community, if you had a problem, you go to Homer Gere. He passed away a month short of turning 101, and people were coming up to me in tears after he passed and telling stories about how he had helped them when they were really in need. Not just physically or with money, but giving them light and a sense of hope and belonging. So I grew up with that side being stimulated. But, as a child, I would ask questions like, what am I? What is this universe? On some level, why does everyone seem to be frustrated, or miserable, or angry? As I left college and became an actor in New York, I started taking it more seriously and really reading and thinking about it. Zen Buddhism was the first system that struck me, and I was lucky to find good teachers in New York to study with. So most of my 20s was having a daily meditation practice in the Zen tradition. How did you first cross paths with the Dalai Lama? I had an impulse to meet the Dalai Lama, who I had never really thought about that much. I had some romantic idea about W.